Okay, everybody, so we're going to get back into some Carlos Marighella. This is called the Firing Group, part of the mini manual of the Urban Guerrilla. The Firing Group. Okay. The Firing Group. In order to function, the urban guerrillas must be organized into small groups. A team of no more than 4 or 5 is called a firing group. A minimum of 2 firing groups, separated and insulated from other firing groups, directed and coordinated by 1 or 2 persons. This is what makes a firing team. Within the firing group, there must be complete confidence among the members, the best shot, and the one who knows best how to handle the submachine gun is the person in charge of operations. The firing group plans and executes urban guerrillas' actions, obtains and stores weapons, and studies and corrects its own tactics. When there are tasks planned by the strategic command, these tasks take preference. But there is no such thing as a firing group without its own initiative. For this reason, it is essential to avoid any rigidity in the guerrilla organization in order to permit the greatest possible initiative on the part of the firing group. The old type hierarchy, the style of the traditional revolutionaries, doesn't exist in our organization. This means that, except for the priority of the objectives set by the strategic command, any firing group can decide to raid a bank or kidnap or execute an agent of the dictatorship. A figure identified with the reaction or a foreign spy can carry out any type of propaganda or war of nerves against the enemy without the need to consult with the general command. No firing group can remain inactive, waiting for orders from the above. Its obligation is to act. Any single urban guerrilla who wants to establish a firing group and begin action can do so, and thus becomes a part of the organization. This method of action eliminates the need for knowing who is carrying out which actions, since there is free initiative, and the only important point is to greatly increase the volume of urban guerrilla activity in order to wear out the government and force it onto the defensive. The firing group is the instrument of organized action. Within it, guerrilla operations and tactics are planned, launched and carried through to success. The general command counts on the firing groups to carry out objectives of a strategic nature, and to do so in any part of the country. For its part, the general command helps the firing groups with their difficulties and with carrying out objectives of a strategic nature, and to do so in any part of the country. The organization is an indestructible network of firing groups and of coordinations among them that functions simply and practically within a general command that also participates in attacks, an organization that exists for no other purpose than that of pure and simple revolutionary action. Okay, so that was the firing group. It's kind of interesting what he described there was that the hierarchy and like I'm going to go back and look at this because it's interesting. He says, any single urban guerrilla who wants to establish a firing group and begin action can do so and thus becomes a part of the organization. It's just kind of interesting that that's what it's, that's what he, in the case of the urban guerrilla here, and I guess, according to him, is that they were self-initiating according to their own, group, according to their own, whatever they wanted to establish there, they would be that, I thought that was interesting. They didn't have necessarily a central command or anything. For the priority of the objectives set by the strategic command, any firing group can decide to raid a bank, to kidnap or execute an agent of the dictatorship. I just thought that was interesting. Okay. Well, so next we're going to read the logistics of the urban guerrilla. And thank you all for tuning in. Todala Goi.